So you had your initial consultation with your reproductive endocrinologist, and one of the very first things he or she did was they looked at your lab results and they suggested egg donor. One of the things that can happen when your doctor recommends egg donor is you immediately shut down. You don't hear the rest of what your doctor has to tell you. I want to let you know that if this happens, it's because there's something in your blood work or in the lab results that's telling your doctor that it might take you a little bit longer to conceive. And ethically, they do need to bring up that looking at having an egg donor might be a good option for you. Everyone has a different journey. For some people, egg donor is where their journey is going to take them. For others, they won't need to do donor egg, but at least the reproductive endocrinologist put it on their radar. So should this happen during your consult, just know that your reproductive endocrinologist is just laying out all the options so you can have the information that you need to make the best decision for you. Today in this video, we're going to talk about, is egg donor the best solution for you? And if it is, should you do fresh or frozen? My name is Nicole Stern. I'm the founder of Fertilista, and we've been working with clients for over 20 years to help them on their fertility journey. Okay, so let's say you meet with your reproductive endocrinologist and your doctor recommends that you should look at egg donor. Now, some clients immediately say, no, we're not doing that. That doesn't fit with our belief system. That's absolutely not what we want to do. We want to definitely try all other techniques before looking at egg donor. Some clients are going to say, yes, how much and when can we start? I did have one client that I met, and she met with her doctor. The doctor said, you should really look at egg donor. Your AMH is very low. It's going to take you a long time and a lot of rounds of IVF to see if you can have a pregnancy with your own follicle, with your own embryo. And this client said, nope, I want to do egg donor. Let's do it. Literally within 30 days, she was already geared up, starting the egg donor cycle, and pregnant within 60 days. And she was a happy, happy lady. She now has a 3-year-old who's healthy and living life. But for a lot of us, that's just not where we want to go. So for some of us, it's going to take us 6 months or 8 months or 2 years to get to that point where we try to see what's going to happen with using our own eggs from our retrievals and what's going to happen with the embryos in the lab. For some of us, we're going to have healthy pregnancies that just took a little bit longer with our own eggs. Now, for some women, they're going to say, let's do egg donor, and they're going to have to decide between fresh or frozen. So let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages. Fresh donor, so this is where you have an egg donor who's stimulated and the eggs are retrieved fresh for you and then frozen and tested, and all the eggs are set aside for you. So that is a good option for those who want to control who their donor is. So it might be a friend or a family member, or it might be someone who's been picked through an egg donor bank, where let's say you have certain parameters that you'd like, certain race, ethnicity, characteristics, attributions that you're looking for in your egg donor. I did have one client, we practice on the East Coast in Boston. I did have one client who was Asian American, and there wasn't a huge bank of egg donors on the East Coast who were Asian American, more specifically Chinese American. So she ended up going to California to have a fresh cycle donor that she could pick from their patient population. Now, those are the pros. The disadvantages with a fresh cycle is once in a while, it doesn't happen a lot, but in 20 years, I've seen it happen once, where the egg donor got cold feet. So it wasn't an egg donor that our patient or client knew personally. They were picked and under contract through a donor agency, and they did get cold feet. And unfortunately, the donor did not trigger when she should have before her retrieval. And so that led to a lot of heartache with our clients, a lot of delays. In the end, it did get figured out. They did do another cycle, and my client has actually 2 girls now. This was many years ago that this happened. So it did end up working out. Now, the cons also is that you have to wait for a fresh cycle donor to go through stim medications and go through the retrieval. So for some of us, when we decide to do egg donor, we're going to decide to do a frozen egg donor. That is where the donor has had her eggs retrieved and they're frozen in a bag, and you can purchase a set amount for your use to be fertilized in the lab and then transferred. Again, the cons there is that sometimes there's not a huge bank of donors, or the donors don't match up with the characteristics that you're looking for. But the pros are that it's ready, it's right there. You don't have to time your cycle with the fresh cycle donor. If you're going to do a fresh cycle transfer, the donor eggs are just going to be shipped to your IVF clinic or to your hospital and ready for when you need them, when you are starting to go and get ready for your frozen embryo transfer. I hope you found this helpful for today. I know it's a lot to think about. My name is Nicole Stern, founder of Fertilista. We'd love to help you on your journey.